Jordan Poole, and I know it's speculating, but would you expect him to sign an extension rather than reach restricted free agency? And at this point, would you take the over or under on that Tyler Hero guarantee, which was 130, but he was guaranteed 120 over 4?
I'm going to go 70-30 he signs. I
Okay.
think I think there's a better than average chance he signs an extension. Um, but with everything going on and the reality of him being um, a lead guard on a team who's not making him a lead guard, like if he hit restricted free agency, couldn't you see a team like Orlando making a very uncomfortable offer at the
Yeah.
Warriors, like being like, look, we got Paulo Banchero, Franz Wagner's a growing player. Poole makes all the sense in the world around this, and let's see how much the Warriors really want him, right?
Yeah,
So
for
he's
sure.
kind of one of those players who can maybe play with it a little bit and see like how much the Warriors are going to go. But I'm going 70-30. He gets an early extension because it just seems like based on everything out of the Warriors, they're I don't want to say dead set on it, but they're very motivated to get it done. And then on more than Hero, I'm going to go like 99%. I just don't think he's going to sign for less. And I think he kind of has leverage right now. I think the
Yeah, they're
Draymond
going to be like a
situation,
Draymond punch you tax a little bit taped
yeah,
into this.
it's like hey guys, don't lowball me here. Like that's the sort of thing. So it's like I think it will happen, and I think it will be for it might just be for like a penny more, but I think it will be for more.
And if they're going to sign him to that type of a number, like, are we gearing towards? Is there a scenario in which they keep this entire squad together with also paying Draymond and Andrew Wiggins and Poole, bringing everybody back next year? If you're giving Jordan Poole that number, that's a huge number, and we know what happens to their luxury tax concerns after that.
I think the only way in which they keep everyone back involves Draymond and Clay um, taking less and
Okay.
taking the like the Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker. Like, all right, we for the next we're going to take less relative to market value because it's a young guy's time and we want to be we want to age gracefully and do the Spurs thing. I don't think that happens, but like that's the only scenario in which it happens. Because I will say, as much as Lacob likes to complain about the luxury tax, he is willing to pay
Mm-hmm.
a significantly high tax. It's just like all people, there's a number, right? Um, I think their combined payroll and tax this year is 400 million, which is very high.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like they want to go much over that. So it's like one of those things where it's like at some point, certain players are either going to have to be like, I'm not gonna, I'm not going to demand every last penny, or they leave, type of thing.
When you're looking at Jordan Poole specifically for this season, he's going to get a big money contract one way or the
Mm-hmm.
other. What are you actually watching for with him and how he can, I guess, with improve within the context of this team? Because I think you hit it on the head before. It's like you have a lead guard who's not on this team because of the way that they're built, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jordan Poole I think he's underrated because contextually he's always kind of like the little brother to the Splash Brothers. Like they're in some ways it reminds me of James Harden and OKC, where
Mm.
all the headlines went to um, Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook for fair reasons, but it was hard to see how good Harden could be because you're like you see him in this very defined role and you're like, well, would he be that good if he was the man? That sort of thing. Now, I'm not saying Jordan Poole is going to become James Harden because that's highly unrealistic, but I do think there's a chance he could be as productive as someone like Donovan Mitchell if he was
Mm-hmm.
a lead guard on another team in a year or two, honestly. And I think that's probably the way he views things. I'm averaging 17, 18 points per game, limiting myself so we could win. Put me on any run of the mill NBA team, and I'm an easy 25, 5-5 type of guy. Um, I think his pathway to stardom, honestly, just continue growing on offense. There's nothing he can't do. It's just about doing it more consistently. Like he can really shoot the ball. It's about like make your shot selection a little better so that 37% is closer to 40,
Mm-hmm.
Um, make, be a little smarter so that those 4.5 assists are more like 5.5, like those little things. And then the obvious one is just like be competent on defense. Like he's never going to be a stopper, but like Steph Curry is the perfect example of a guy who was a terrible defender early in his career. Then he became like a good defender, or just like a good team defender, and now he's outright plus defender. And like again, the goal is, or the expectation is not that he progresses that much. The expectation is he can do his job on a team defensively, instead of being a guy where the coaching staff is like, all right, we got to pull him off because we need some stops right now.
Yeah, I do think he might be one of the more underrated finishers in the league.
Yeah.
Stuff he can even do with his offhand. I know he doesn't get to the rim a ton, and maybe that's why people don't realize that, but that still feels like it might be the most underrated part of his game right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think honestly, he's a true 3-level scorer. And the biggest thing with him is trying to, it's that balance between creative freedom and like making sure he doesn't just like turn into a player who takes 18 like fadeaways, So, because like he is an amazing shooter, and he's great with the ball in his hands at all 3 levels. So it's kind of like just harnessing that in a way that's most productive for the team. Yeah, it's not a talent thing with him. It's just kind of like how do you use that within the context of Warriors team that always has Steph Curry?